Hello folks, this is Tim Schrock from Design Build Solutions talking today about Chief Architect and the difference between annotation sets and layer sets. I wanted to share this because someone actually was asking me about the difference between these and I didn't have a great answer at the time. So I wanted to go more into a technical comparison, if you will, of what these two functions do in Chief Architect. I'm going to start with this column on the right, layer sets. Layer sets control what we see visually when it comes to display, material lists, whether the layer is locked or not, the color of the objects on that layer, the line weight of objects on the layer, line style, and text style. So each layer has the ability, I'm going to pull up our layer display options here. I'm going to use, you can use many different ways. There's an icon here with the check mark. You could use the tilde key, I guess I'll call it that. I believe that's what it's called. It's the button just to the left of the number 1 on your keyboard. And you can also do it with, I thought we could do it in the menu here. There we go. Display options. Go under Tools, Layer Settings, Display Options. This is the Layer Display Options dialog box. We've got the whole list of layers. And remember, if you've been following along my Tech Tip Tuesday videos, I went through a 3-part series on creating custom layers for the way I draft my plans. So each layer under CD plan, and there's many layer sets here, but under this layer set, CD plan, doors is this color gray and it's turned on. Door labels is on and it's this color blue. It has a line weight. Let me back up. The used column just shows you that there's objects on that layer. We really can't control it. It's just valuable sometimes to see if there's an object on this layer or not. So there's not an object on dimensions plumbing, but there is an object on doors labels. It is turned on in this layer set. If you take a materials list, while in this layer set, doors, all of these will be included in that material list. We can lock the doors so they'll be visible but cannot be selected. And I could change the color of them. Now, for instance, notice Dimensions Kitchens and Baths is black. And I really want it this color, blue R0, green 0, blue 128. So I'm going to modify all the layer sets, and I'm going to modify the color of this, layer here. So I'm going to go into RGB, and I'm just going to do blue 128. R0, G0, blue 128. So now all of the layer sets I just changed to that color blue. I'm going to uncheck this. If I were to go continue on, Dimensions Kitchen and Bath is going to be at a line weight of 18. Doors is going to be at a line weight of 18. Labels is going to be a line weight of 18. But electrical is going to be a line weight of 25. Line styles, same thing. Any kitchen and bath object on this in this layer set is going to be a solid line style and a default text style. So for an example would be default text style for doors and labels, default label style. If I would change to the CD Plan 2, it has the text style is default label style 1/2. So when I go down here and I define my default label style 1/2, I can edit that, and notice my character height is 1.5 inches. If I switch to default label style and edit that, it's 3 inches. So the difference between them is that my CD Plan 2 is set up for 1/2 inch plans. You'll notice the same thing on Dimensions CD Plan 2, 1/2 inch text style. When I switch back to CD Plan, it goes back to default text style. Now, this is an extreme case. I'm going to switch to Reference Display Set. And you'll notice everything is red, except for this one, Dimensions Kitchens and Baths. I forgot about that plan. So with the Modify All Layers turned off or unchecked, I'll go in here and change this layer to be red when they're on that property, on that layer. So the color property is red when we're looking at the reference display set. I'm also going to change the, I guess I change it down here, line weight to 18. So you notice all of the objects are locked, all of the layers are locked, all of the layers are a red color, except for wall niches. Let's change that one to red as well. And this is just the this is what Chief Architect uses to turn on and off your reference display set, whether you use F9 on your keyboard or the toolbar over here. I think you could probably do it under Tools, Display Options as well here up in the menu. So in this reference display set, you might want to see the roof planes. You might not want to see the roof planes in the reference display. I'm going to switch to electrical set. So on my electrical set, I don't want the window labels turned on. So I uncheck that box. They're not displayed. When I go into CD Plan, my construction dock plan view, they are turned on because I want those to be displayed. CD Plan 2, I want them on, but I want them at my half-inch scale. Okay? So that's what layer sets do. I can quickly cycle through the layer sets by doing this. If I wanted to see the default set, I could do that. If I wanted to see the electrical set, notice that text that's on the screen just turned off. Go back to CD Plan, and it's on, because when I select it, you'll notice right down here, this tells you what layer it's on. This over here tells you what that object actually is. So we know it's rich text, and it's on the layer Text CD Plan. So it makes sense when the CD Plan layer set is active that we see the text CD Plan. When I change it to CD Plan 2, text CD Plan disappears because that's turned off. Electrical, etc., etc., etc. The way I use default is kind of loosely. I will manually turn layers on and off as I need them because I want to see how, this object interacts with the other object. I may not want to see in my final plans say a light next to a framing member, and I'll show the framing plan on one layer set and an electrical plan on the other layer set, but in my default I may have both of them on, for instance, to see how the one interacts with the other, and so that there's no interference. So back to CD plan. Now, layer sets is great, but this doesn't control what size text or what layer text I'm going to be using when I just start typing. So for instance, in a half-inch scale plan, your text is going to be half the size of your quarter-inch scale plan when you send it to layout. This text is 4 inches tall, so when I send it to layout, it's just shy of an 1/8 inch high at quarter-inch scale. If I were to go to CD plan 2, I would want to keep the printed text all the same height. I would want 2 inch high, which is why I have my, let's go to text, which is why I have my callouts and my markers at half-inch text style. Now this style, we'll define that. Let's go in here and edit. You'll notice is 2 inches tall. So everything is organized by based on this quarter-inch text style scale. Now, if you can imagine, 1/8 inch text style will be 8 inches tall to keep the same height printed when it's printed at scale. But if I don't want CD plan 2, or if I don't want the text from my CD plan, my quarter-inch scale there, to show up on CD plan 2, if I just used layer sets, let's say I switch to electrical set. Let's just do like this. I'm on CD plan. Now I switch to electrical, and I double click on my defaults here. Notice it says CD plan rich text defaults. So it's going to be the same height as the CD plan text, which is okay with my electrical text, but it's going to be on the wrong layer. So if I switch back and forth between electrical and CD plan, notice CD plan rich text defaults right up here in the title block. And this is on the right layer. It's text CD plan. That's the same layer we had before, but because my layer set is here, that's what I want it to be. When I switch to electrical, I get this message. The layer text CD plan is not displayed. Do you want to turn on the display of this layer in this current view? No, I don't want to see text CD plan in the electrical set. All the notes on CD plan are architectural notes. Electrical set is a completely different set of notes, and so I don't want this here. I can click no, but it's still going to go on CD plan, and if I were to type something and click OK, it would look as if I had typed nothing. I'm going to type this while in electrical layer set, because it's on the text CD plan and I clicked no, do not turn that layer on in this view. It's going to be missing. Where did it go? I could click no, I could change it. Electrical text. I could change it manually. I can change each individual object as I go along. But I really don't want to waste the time to do that every time I switch back and forth. And that's where annotation sets come in. As the name indicates, it's an annotation set. So we're giving notes to the plan. So I'm going to switch to CD plan annotation set. And notice here's that text that went missing the first time. Now notice also I do not see the electrical text because remember I manually put that on the electrical text layer. I'm going to delete this for now. So layer sets controls what we see. It controls, annotation sets, I'm looking at the wrong column, controls the current CAD layer. So anytime you draw a line, a arc, a circle, or a polyline, what line do you by default want that object to be? What layer do you want that object to be on by default? It controls dimension styles, which I've got set up many different dimension styles for different scales, for different layers, for different scales and different layer sets. It controls text styles, both rich text and normal text. It controls callout and marker styles and arrow styles, and it controls what layer set we're going to see. So I'm on CD plan, and when I click the text tool here, notice the CAD layer right down here when I click on that. So I'm going to click text, and it says layer CAD CD plan. I don't know why it's saying that. Okay, don't watch this down here at the bottom right now. So it is automatically going to put it on text CD plan layer. Fantastic. Now I'm going to select it. Object layer says text CD plan. That is not the right object layer. Oh, it is the right object layer. Yeah. It's not CAD CD plan, it's text CD plan. It is the right object layer. So I'm going to delete that. Now I'm going to switch to electrical. And now you'll notice the current CAD layer, if I were to draw a CAD object, is going to go on CAD electrical. Now notice my electrical text showed up. So two things change, right? The thing that changes is the text, what layer is turned on, and what layer is our current CAD layer going to be. Watch those two things change. We've got the electrical text in the middle. We've got current CAD layers, CAD electrical. I'm going to switch to CD plan. Current CAD layer is CAD CD plan. The CD architectural text is present. I'm going to switch to HVAC. Current CAD layers, CAD HVAC. There is no text on that text layer. And that's natural. I wouldn't expect it to be because I didn't type any there. CAD roofs, etc. Now notice also what changes is this right here. By changing the annotation set, we quickly change what's visible and what each of these tools default or current setting is going to be. So I'm going to switch to CAD CD annotations. I'm going to switch to CD plan 2. I'm going to switch to electrical. I'm going to switch to framing floor. Now that's going to turn on a whole different set of layers, and it's going to turn, like the walls will turn gray now, because I want to see the bearing walls that the framing is sitting on, but I want the framing members to really be present and stand out on the plan. Now I'm doing a couple of unique things here with my layer sets, or annotation sets. I'm using CAD CD Plan 1 and CD Plan simultaneously on the same layer set. So when I change to CD Plan, from CD Plan to CD Plan 1, my layer set does not change. And I'll show you why. So CD Plan Annotations keeps everything the same except for the dimension styles. And the way I use this is my CD Plan 1 has different locate objects settings. So everything is off except for the centers of my openings, and I want it only to measure to the primary wall side. When I switch to CD Plan, my dimension defaults actually has locate objects both wall sides, and several more things are turned on. I want those to be quickly and easily measured too as I'm drawing my dimension lines. Now, my numerical scale annotations, I want to use the active layer set. I don't want it to change layer sets because most of the time I'm using these in a section view. And so I want that active layer set. So quickly, I'm going to show you how I use the CD Plan 1. I'm just going to take in my CD Plan 1, and notice if I double click on the dimension tool, it says dimension defaults is CD Plan 1 dimension defaults. I'm just going to go across quickly like so. And so I can quickly locate where the doors and windows and walls are. But it's not going to locate any soffits, any millwork, any stairs. Just doors, windows, and walls. It's not going to locate any roofs either. I'm going to drag it across here. Interesting, it's not connecting. I may have to make my reach just a little longer. Ah, yes. Let's make my reach 48 inches. There we go. So it could have measured to this polyline right here. It could have measured to, you know, this millwork or that millwork, but it's not because that locate objects is there. Is not checked. Pull this across, and I use CD Plan 1 as my main like major quick and easy numbers, my major dimensions. And then if I switch to CD Plan, I'm still on the same plan layer, but here I might say I want to measure to the inside of this yellow wall, and I want to show them this number, the string. Whereas CD Plan 1 would look like that. It's just setting up the defaults so that it's quick and easy for my style of drafting. This has been a little, I know it's been a little wordy, maybe a little dry. I hope it's been helpful. There's a lot of information here, but it's I find it makes my drafting and planning much quicker and much easier to set up and to get going in the creating the construction documents. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.